You want to go do karate in the garage? Yep. Did we just become best friends?
What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 13 of Did We Just Become Best Friends podcast, where we talk about sports, video games, movies, and whatever else is trending in the world. You can find us on all social media platforms at Did We Just Become Best Friends podcast or DWJBBF podcast. You can call or text us at 872-225-2404, and if you leave a good enough message, you might hear yourself on a future episode. We always appreciate kind reviews, subscriptions, ratings on Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to hit that sub button on YouTube with the bell notification so you don't miss any new episodes. My name is Anthony, and I am kind of live with Alfredo. Yeah, I'm alone, but not really with Alfredo.
How you doing, guys? I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so keeping away from Kramer.
Yeah, so this is a different setup, kind of quickly done.
Yes.
Not too bad.
Yes. It should be good.
Yeah. But I think if this comes out pretty good, we can do this a little bit more often, especially if like it's a bad weather out or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll get you set up with a better setup at home, get you a little corner, whatnot.
All right. What, you don't like the Peyton stuff back
here? The Peyton stuff?
Bears?
Oh yeah, man, that's awesome.
So
can't go wrong with water Peyton. All right, so so this week we are starting our Oscar talk, right? Because we got four Fridays before the Oscars. So we're gonna talk about Vice, Green Book, and then we'll probably end up talking about the Super Bowl a little bit towards the end of the podcast.
Yes.
But so we decided to do the like review of all the main movies for the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to talk about Vice first, or you want to talk about Green Book?
Your call. I mean, we could talk about Vice. It's the most recent movie I saw.
Same here. This is the most recent.
Right. I don't know. The beginning, the Vice overall is pretty good. For me, the second half is better than the first half. It's a 2-hour-long movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was pretty long.
Yeah, Christian Bale, he nailed it pretty good.
Holy crap, man! He was
really good.
Yeah, I thought he was like I thought he was like amazing. Like in it, like I could see best actor for sure.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, so can I. So can I. Let's see, the guy who played George W. Bush. He was good.
Sam Rockwell.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had notes, and unfortunately, I came unprepared. My notes is somewhere, so I do apologize. So, Kramer, you might have to carry me a little.
Oh, that's fine. Well, let's start off with so Vice is up for a few categories for the Oscars. It's up for Best Picture.
Okay.
Best Actor, Christian Bale. Best Supporting Actor, Sam Rockwell, which is George Bush. Best Supporting Actress, Amy Adams, which is Dick Cheney's wife in the movie. And Best Director, which is Adam McKay.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's up for everything except for Best Actress, which I guess it really didn't have like an actress per se. But man, I watched it and I like Adam McKay movies. And I'm not sure if you know who Adam McKay is.
Never heard of him.
So he took over for Ant-Man. He took over for Ant-Man after Edgar Wright stepped out, and I believe he directed Ant-Man and Wasp. But he also did a few other like movies. He did the one not too long ago about the whole housing crisis, and Steve Carell was in that one as well.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember the name of it now. But he's a funny guy. He's a comedian. If you ever watch Funny or Die with, like, I don't know if you've ever seen any Funny or Die kind of stuff.
Yes, I did. Yeah. That's the one with Will Ferrell and the little kid, right? The little baby.
His daughter.
Yes.
There's that one. So Adam McKay, Will Ferrell, and John C. Reilly help create. I think they are the creators, but I know they're like the main part of Funny or Die. So they're funny guys, and I don't know if this was like called like a comedy, but I think it kind of falls under that category of comedy. But it is, because it's kind of funny at points, but it's also like you want to punch the wall because you're so angry at like how little like they portray like politicians caring about you.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's from a Republican standpoint. So I'm wondering if the director is a Democrat and that's how he sees it. So maybe he's a little bit biased on one side.
possibly. Did you watch? There's a little extra scene at the end. Did you turn it off before then?
No, no, no. I saw the point where Cheney got up from his chair from the interview, started talking to the viewers.
Yeah. After that,
Mm,
they cut back to the
to the room,
the
to
room with the people in it.
the survey room
Yeah.
or whatever. Yes.
I thought that was so perfect because it kind
Yeah.
of took like the criticism that it would get like from like a conservative kind of person, like, oh well, this
Yeah.
is just a liberal movie made by some liberal libtard, and then the guy's
Real
like,
libtards,
yeah,
right.
and then the guy next to him is like, oh well, isn't this all based on facts? Isn't this all facts? And you know stuff.
Right.
And he goes, oh, there's your stupid shit. I was like, oh man, I thought that was like really funny. It fit well with the movie because like,
Well, yeah, that dude got his ass beat though. For
Yeah.
telling the truth. I mean, he did say, "Hey, if me being a libtard's a liberal is based on facts, and I'm believing the facts and the truth, and that makes me liberal, then so be it."
yeah. And then he goes, that's what
I
a
mean,
liberal would say.
Right? Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I thought that was really funny. I thought that was really
It
funny.
was.
But I mean,
was.
it is very biased on one side of the thing. But I mean, I didn't really look into how much of it is factual, you
Mhm.
know. But it seems like he is pretty on it, because the whole housing crisis movie he did it before. I can't remember the stupid movie. It was pretty good because it's like it's what kind of actually happened. So
Okay.
so it's like people were The Big Short. That's what it's called.
That's what it was.
The Big Short, yeah. Which is Steve Carell was in that one as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. That was good. It was good. Like I felt like there was parts. One of my favorite parts of the movie was when they're in bed and the narrator is saying like how complex the situation is, and that how him and his wife talk, and then it cut to like Shakespearean like talking. I thought that was like well executed.
He
I was like,
he
it's
did
so
that.
good.
He did that a couple times when they were trying to figure out what's on the menu.
Yeah.
Of the in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So we have a beautiful, delicious Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. That was really good. I liked that. And he's like, you know what? We take all of it.
Yeah. They did that too in I think when he was talking to whatever president was it at the time. I can't remember what president was. Ford possibly. And where he was like selling something, and then the thing he was selling was like they were saying like, well, we can all go to the yard, put little hats on our dicks. and like it was like he was like, well, I do like a party. It was so good because like you don't know what he was actually talking about, but they were like,
Right.
but the message came across that like he was good at convincing people to do whatever he wanted to do because he was very monotone,
Right.
And I like compared to other movies we won't talk yet. Like Dick Cheney is a very like monotone kind of person. He never really raised his voice. He never like got he never got like visually angry. Like things happen. Even at the end of the movie, spoilers. There's big spoilers if you haven't watched it yet or don't know the facts. When his daughter was running, and the whole thing about his other daughter being a lesbian, and then she looked at him. She goes, "What do I do?" And he kind of just like nodded his head and continued with reading. Like he's like, okay, do what you got to do.
Right, to win.
Like, damn, man. I was like, but he was so adamant about like he goes, that stays off. Like he told George Bush, he goes, we're not talking about any kind of that. And that now that I remember, I was like, I don't remember Bush really pushing any kind of LGBT issues or anything like that. It was never really about like that, and it was just I don't know. I thought that was kind of like messed up. I was like, wow.
Yeah, this movie basically portrayed Bush as a puppet, Dick Cheney's puppet. Now, I don't really follow politics, and at that time, I never really did. To be honest with you, I did vote for the person that I think is best for our country at the time, but I wasn't really into it. That being said, when he was discussing everything in George Bush's ranch while he was eating that chicken, what I loved part that scene was you saw Cheney laughing, like giggling inside, but in the outside you see him all serious.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that was excellent. That's great because that shows how much he's like, oh, I got this guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's mine.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's crazy how he said, you know what, I'll be in charge of the military. I'll be in charge of, like, he named several other important
Like,
things
yeah, like the
to
main
help
things.
George Bush out. And he's like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'll split the work.
Yeah, you do everything important.
Right, exactly.
But
And I think that was pretty good. Like I said, the first beginning half, I wasn't feeling it, and to be honest, just I just toughed it out. And when
uh,
they had that false ending in the like 48-minute mark, like that's the way it could have ended.
uh,
But then they continued with the movie
well,
because he
yeah,
got that phone call.
yeah, that's when all the real stuff happened.
Yes, that's when I'm like, okay, all right, now it's getting good.
Oh, really? It took you that long to get
Yeah,
into it? Okay.
yeah, it did actually. It took me a little bit long. Um, it's a political movie.
Oh, yeah, big
There
time.
are funny parts. Um, it's more of a drama, serious, more than comedy. I'm a comedy guy. I like the comedy stuff. But overall, I mean, I don't know. Are we grading these movies? I mean, like 5 stars. I mean, if we giving it 5 stars, I'm gonna say like a 2.5 on it.
Really?
And that's
So out of five,
yeah,
you give it a two and a
two,
two and a half.
yeah, 3 just to be nice because I like Steve Carell.
uh,
I like Christian Bale or Batman because sometimes he sounded like Batman for a little bit.
a little bit. I
You
can see
know,
that.
a
I can
little
see
bit.
that. Or I
Yeah,
can
a little
hear it.
Batman came out on him,
Yeah, for sure.
and you know, I think it's gonna do pretty good. The director, he did a phenomenal job, but it just didn't pull me in until the
What?
second half of the
Oh
movie.
man, like I think for me, I'll probably give it probably 4 stars. It was pretty good.
4.
Yeah, I thought it was really
Wow.
good. I enjoyed it. It didn't really grab me until he started. He went to DC and sat down and started listening to Donald Rumsfeld, which is Steve Carell's character. Um,
Hmm.
the first time he heard him, that's when it pulled me in because he was so intrigued on how he's talking. You know, here's like these older gentlemen that are like these politicians that are big shots, and then here comes
Right.
Rumsfeld like cursing up a storm, saying stupid shit, joking, you know, kind of like being like buddy buddy and like kind of blowing a lot of it off.
Hmm.
And then who was like whatever guy he was with, and the guy was like, "Hey, do you mind if I join the Democrats or the?" And he's like, "What side is he on?" And he tells him like, "Oh, he's Republican." He goes, "Yeah, I want to be on his side." You know, it's
Yeah.
like right there, it kind of pulled me in. It was like he didn't care. I mean, it made it seem like he didn't care what side it was on. He wanted to
Right.
be with the people that he knew can get what they wanted. You know,
Right.
and for him, it was he knew he can get in with Rumsfeld. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And
Yeah. I
that's
mean,
what that pulled me in. That was about maybe 15 minutes in, if that.
yeah. I mean, overall, if that was based on real life facts and Cheney and stuff, Cheney is a one smart guy. If that's the case, he knew how to manipulate the system. He knew how to manipulate people. He knew how to get on their side and say, "Hey, do it this way. Be like me, and I'll teach you the best," or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. I have to agree with you. The beginning part, he sought out the young gunslinger versus the old school. No, that's right. This is wrong, or whatever.
Yeah.
So he, no, that was pretty smart on his half.
Yeah. So we'll keep our picks towards the end. We'll do our picks, I think, at the last week. So, but instead we can do, does it deserve to be nominated? So as the best picture, does it belong up there with the best movies of the year, 2018?
I want to say yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, because you got a nice star-studded cast. Um, you got great acting, great makeup. And you know what? It's based on actual facts or true facts or what have you.
Mm,
So that that interests a lot of people. So I say, yeah, that it should be up there with the other group.
yeah. Um. So I agree with best actor being Christian Bale.
Yes.
You know, he should be nominated. Best supporting actor Sam Rockwell. I feel like he wasn't in it enough.
No, I agree. 100% agree.
You know, to be considered one of the best supporting actors of the year, he wasn't in it that much.
No,
I
no.
mean,
He
yeah,
did his part. He made it. He made it real.
yeah,
Okay, so great performance though with the little parts that he had. I don't think he was in it enough for to be the supporting part.
yeah. No, I mean, I think they could have got like Will Ferrell to be freaking George Bush, and it would have been just as good. You know, I mean, he did a good job, but he wasn't. Same thing for Amy Adams. I feel like
Hmm.
I don't know.
She was in it more than
She
Bush
was yeah. Oh yeah, she was in it. Yeah, I mean, she was probably in it almost as much as Christian Bale. I mean, because there was
Yeah,
like Steve Carell. I would have put Steve Carell as best supporting actor over Sam Rockwell. You know,
I 110% agree with you on that one.
not saying that Sam Rockwell didn't do an awesome job, but I believe Steve Carell did a better job.
Yeah.
And he was in the movie a lot more. And I don't know,
Yes. Yeah.
but that goes for me. Best director, should he be up there
Yes.
with the best? Yeah,
Um.
I think so for this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. From this movie, yeah.
Uh, cool. So, any final words before we go to the next book or next movie?
Next movie. Any final words on this movie?
Yeah.
Um. After seeing this, I'm really interested and curious if you're gonna do something similar to this with Obama in the future, considering this is a heavy Republican movie from a possibly Democrat. And I wonder if they're going to do the same thing with Obama and kind of, or with even with Hillary, maybe Obama and Hillary, to maybe like tarnish here a little bit there or something. Just like this movie, I believe tarnished a little bit of Cheney on the acts that he'd done.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if they're going to come out with that very soon.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. But I believe it was kind of well done.
Yeah.
But it's also like I don't know how factual it was. It kind of depends on how much along the facts
Right.
it went. But I liked it. I thought it was really good. I liked Adam McKay. I like his movies that he does. So it's up there for one of the better movies of the year for sure for me.
Okay.
So now moving on to the next movie we watched was Green Book. Like very, very different. Very different.
Yes.
So you want to give us a rundown of how and what the movie was quickly about?
Quickly about basically it was based off 1950s, I
Yeah,
believe,
yeah.
1960s.
That's about right.
Short story, Italian heavy strong guy is being chauffeured to a an African American musician, and they have this long trip from, I believe they go from Midwest down to South,
Yeah, deep south.
deep South, where racism's like
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. And basically, the title of the movie is called Green Book because they hand them a green book saying where the colored people could stay at, only the colored people could stay at.
Yeah.
So while this chauffeur drives him, he looks in the green book. Okay, colored people sleep at this hotel or motel, while I could sleep in that one. You know, it's they become friends. It's a good movie. It's a great movie. I enjoy it. I enjoy
Yeah.
it a lot.
Yeah.
And
I enjoyed
go
it.
ahead, Krim.
No, I
Go ahead.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot as well. It was really well done, I thought.
Yes, it's well done. It took me a while to figure out who is the driver, the chauffeur,
Uh-huh.
and I asked Jessica, I'm like, "Who is that?" And she goes, "That's the guy from Lord of the Rings." That's I can't remember. I can't remember, keep forgetting. Is it?
Viggo Morrison.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, yeah, him. And I was shocked how much weight he had to put on for this role, and he looked so different. His accent was awesome. I don't know if he's Italian or not because you know, he talked it really good. You know, he spoke it very well.
What
And
I don't know if he actually is or not.
he played a hell of a role in this movie. I mean,
Oh
he was
yeah,
really good. One of the things I really enjoyed this movie, it's in the middle because there's comedy aspect while being drama.
yeah,
And any movie has two of those things for me, it's a win because they have a little bit of everything for everyone. You know,
yeah. It was really good. Same thing. It was like in between. Like, I mean, it was more of a serious, like dramatic movie than a comedy. It did have its funny parts where I thought were pretty good. Um, but like right off the bat, it just tackled racism. Primarily African American people in New York. And the actor, I forgot his name in the movie, the character, but the Italian guy, he saw the plumbers and they were African American, and he saw them drinking from their cup and he threw it away,
yeah,
and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be interesting. But then like he was like that, but then he took the job, so it's like when I saw that, I'm like, well, like I'm like, oh, so you're like a little racist, enough to
right,
be disgusted like that, the way he was, but then you're not disgusted enough to like work for a black man, as long as he pays you. It was like kind of, for me, it was kind of like a weird thing.
right.
And then I'm like, man, it's tough. And then you find out he's also gay. It was like,
Oh yeah,
man. So I'm like, now he's African American and gay, And I always thought, like, I was like, oh man. So it was like super like pushed how hard his life was and whatnot.
right.
But it was really well done. I enjoyed it a lot, and it hit a lot of like points of like how important like it is to be like a color and not smart, because at any given moment he was probably the smartest man in any room,
Oh yes,
and I'm talking about I'm gonna slaughter his name, more Marshaki Ali, I think Marshakala
yes,
Ali,
yeah.
and then but yeah, he was always like the smartest man in the room at any moment, and that was really awesome. And they just treated him like he was garbage, because obviously, you know, the South wasn't known to be, you know, very welcoming to colored people, especially back then.
Right. And it's amazing
Yeah,
how it's amazing how yes, he was somewhat treated like garbage. I want to say somewhat because there's some parts where people actually paid good money
yep,
to see him perform, and these people were white people.
yeah,
And and it's nothing like towards the beginning of the movie when he first took this job at his first gig, he was what was he doing? Playing dice with all the other chauffeurs.
yeah,
And he had met, his boss got upset. He's like, "You're not supposed, don't be doing that. If you need money, let me know." Say, "Hey, the other guys are doing it. Why not?" He's because those guys don't have an option to go inside.
yeah,
And you're like, "Whoa, that was deep." That's a message right there.
yeah.
You know,
That was a
um,
good. There was a lot of good ones, but that was the first one, I think, in the movie that was like really hit you.
yes, yes. And that's something that he took for granted because remember, they gave him the option to go inside. He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay out here,"
Yeah,
because of his language and how he acts and talks. He's not changing his persona for anybody. It's just that's the way he is.
yeah,
You know, um, and that struck hard. I mean, it got me hard. I'm like, wow, I would never ever thought that we took for granted. We, as people, we never knew what they actually go through as a black person.
yeah,
But you know what? I give them a lot of credit for what they done, and they managed. However, in this movie, gives you that aspect, that feel, like, hey guys, don't forget this was the way it was back then.
Yeah, but even there was when they're in oh, I forgot where at, but they were down south in Mississippi, I think, and they got pulled over. It was right before they got taken to jail,
Mm-hmm.
and he told him, he goes, oh, the cop was talking to the Italian guy. He's like, oh, what are you? He goes, oh, I'm Italian. And he's like, oh, you're half, and he got upset. And I was like, how quick a lot of like us, generations down the line, like we forget, like not that long ago, like Irish and Italian and Polish people were being called all these names and stuff. Like I think who is it? Johnny Walker. They made a
Mm-hmm.
commercial with the Irish guy, and he was saying, in the commercial, I love that commercial. It's really cool. He's got that thick Irish accent, and he's talking. He goes, "Oh, not that long ago, there were signs saying no Irish should come in and stuff like that." It's like, we forget, like, like there was probably somebody who came from Europe and was being treated like that.
Right.
And it just like it's like a cycle almost. Like the
Yeah.
seniors hazing the freshmen type of thing. It's like, oh, you're the new guy to pick on. We're all gonna pick on you, but we forget, like, not that long ago we were the ones being picked on. Or our grandparents, our great grandparents were being picked on. So I like that kind of aspect too. Is like, hey, you forgot where you're from, and not that long ago you weren't welcomed. So
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, what I really do like in the movie, it's towards the very beginning. He was he was racist. I mean, I'm just gonna say it, he really was.
yeah,
He threw away
for
two
sure.
perfectly good glasses. They're not paper cups, glass,
Yeah.
glasses, and in the trash. While his wife came, she's like, this guy, what
Mm-hmm.
the hell? She took him out and put him in the sink. Now, from that point, spending time with him, I believe, how long was it? 1 month, 30
eight,
days, or
eight,
something like
8 weeks for
eight
two. It was
weeks.
2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And he drove back, and he invited him to his place,
Mm.
and he accepted. And then, it's like, okay, now you see how he is. He's a well-educated man. He was a doctor. He is a doctor.
Yeah.
And it was based on a true story, which there actually happened, and they're friends.
Yeah.
Well, they were friends until they passed, but it's a great touching story. How spending time,
Getting to know
could
somebody,
change. Yeah, yeah. It don't,
like, you realize, like, how much you have in common, like what a person actually stands for. It's just not like
right,
the color of their skin.
right. Exactly. Don't ever judge the book by its cover, and that's
Yeah.
at first what he did. And towards the end, he's like, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. He's a great guy. He's a great gentleman.
Yeah. Even at the end of the movie, the guy, was like, hey, I was working for this guy, and they said, like, very racist, name. And then the guy looked
Right.
at him and goes, hey, don't call him that, And the wife looked
Uh-huh.
at him like, she's like, okay,
Yeah.
little life changing event,
Yeah.
and yeah, I thought that was really, really, really good, because
Yeah.
he even told him, the whole time, because he was like, oh, your people, how do you not know Aretha Franklin? How do you not have chicken? Like all these
Right.
very
James Brown.
stereotypical, African
Yeah.
American stereotypes,
Right.
And I liked it when they, after they got out of jail, he goes, if I'm not, man enough to be with men, if I'm not black enough to be with black people, and if I'm not, if I'm too black to be with white people, where do I belong? Because which is true, is like he gets like ridiculed from like every group,
Yeah.
he's the smartest person in the room, I mean, but he's also like musically inclined, but he winds up being gay. So it's just like, especially back then, it's just like there's nothing he can do to fit in anywhere,
No. No.
and I like the story was like the cello player. He's
Mhm.
like, why he's doing it, and he's like, he goes, because, like, what did he say? He said something about um like being the smart person is not going to change how people think, and it wasn't changing the world. It wasn't like, hey, we made the world a better place and making it less racist. It's like they took a man and they showed, like, hey, this man who was racist can change, You know,
You're right.
so instead of taking like a big like thing is like instead of changing everybody's mind, it was just focused on like them two.
One person.
One
Yeah.
person changing another person for the better. And I thought that was really awesome.
Well, yeah. Towards the end of the movie, that's basically what happened.
Yeah.
Because when someone called him the targeting name, he was like, "Hey, don't call him that."
Yeah.
So that's where it begins. Now he's gonna spread it out. It's like, be respectful, be kind. So what? They're different color. They're still human beings.
Yeah.
That's how he learned, and that's what I believe the doctor learned from him. Also, he's not just a chauffeur, but he became a friend. He showed him James Brown, Aretha Franklin. I can't remember the third artist, but then he also said, introduce him to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That was an awesome line.
He was.
I thought that...
He's like, he's holding the chicken. He's like, you're getting all over my blanket.
Yeah.
And what do we do with the bones? He's like, check them.
Yeah.
Check them.
I like he was fine with that, but then when he threw out the box, he made him go and pick it up.
Yeah. He's like, yeah.
He goes, the bones are gonna, degrade themselves, but the bucket won't.
Right.
No, but the best part is like when they're in Kentucky and he sees a Kentucky Fried Chicken, he goes, hey, when are you ever gonna see that? I'm like, I thought that was funny. I was like, really? I was like, because you're not gonna see a Kentucky Fried Chicken in Kentucky.
In Kentucky,
especially
right?
But I thought that was a good little.
Now let me ask you this: do you remember the scene where he's waiting outside of the hotel and he came across his two Italian buddies?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think he was gonna take that job? Now let me ask you this.
You watching yourself?
No, it just hit the wrong button. Yeah. Shit. Sorry, guys. Okay, there.
All right.
Do you think he was gonna take that job? Because remember, he left his room to meet with his friends, and that's when he talked to him in Italian. And when he said that, he was like,
it's like he got caught up.
More money. Yes, I'm gonna offer you more money, comes with more responsibilities. He's like, whoa. We had a deal, okay? I took this job, and so on and so forth. Me personally, I don't think he was gonna go down there and take another job offer. He seemed like the person from the very beginning to be loyal at what he does, and he takes his name and reputation very seriously.
Yeah.
A couple of people that I spoke with, they mentioned, I don't know if he was going to take that job. I said no.
That's what I like about that scene, because it leaves you guessing. It leaves you guessing. It's like, what if the doc wasn't out there? What if? And I like that scene because it's like it's like it leaves you guessing. It kind of lets you draw your own conclusion, which I always like that kind of stuff. But me personally, I agree with you. I don't think he was. He does seem like a man that sticks to his word, and that's what he said. He goes, "Hey, I said this." It happened with the record label when they're like, "Oh, here's half of the money." He goes, "Hey, I need all the money." He goes, "Well, you get the money when you finish." He goes, "Hey, I said I'm gonna do the job. I'm gonna do the job." So right. I think right off the bat, like he was a loyal person, and I don't think he wanted to get too mobbed up, because he was kind of hanging out working for some of the mob. It seemed like mob kind of guys.
Right.
So he's like, he kind of knew what that road led to, and he didn't want to go too far down it.
Right.
So I think he was gonna say no, but it leaves you guessing.
Right. He knew what to do, because in the very beginning he stole that guy's hat.
Yeah.
He stole that guy's hat, and just to come up later, it's some booty or whatever. Some kid found it or whatever.
Yeah.
Just to get him in ties with them, which is a very, very smart move.
Oh yeah, I mean, you always want to be good with somebody who's gonna be able to help you out down the road.
Right.
So, out of 5, what do you give Green Book?
4.5.
4.5.
4.5, almost a 5, because the simple fact, like I said in the very beginning, if a story could go funny and drama, and along with seriousness. And there's a little bit of suspense too in that bar scene when he flashes wide of money towards the end. So I thought, something bad was going to happen, but nope, he knew. He fired 2 shots in the air. The guys took off. Good man, good guy, good job. But it's things like that that really get me, and I love movies like that, because you get your money's worth. You get the best of both worlds. So that's why I rank it pretty high. What about you?
I give it probably a 4. You know, like
Or
for me, it was probably on the same level as Vice. It was very well done. I like once like for me, it's like once you start watching it and like you kind of like you get pulled into the characters, like you care about them. You know, like you get upset when the doc gets mistreated. You know,
right.
you get like upset when I can't remember his name, but when the Italian guy like wants to do good, but he has to do what he has to do. You know, and it's like stuff like that pulls me in, and I enjoy like that, like actual character development. You know, not just
Yeah.
being told like this is a black man, he's a doctor, and he's gay, and he plays music. Here's the story. You know, it's like no, it built up to like you're obviously you already knew he was black. You found out he was a musician. You know, and he was a smart man, and then they
Mhm.
threw in that that little thing is like he's also like gay, and it was just like very like boom, like whoa, what, and it's like
Yeah. All the cards are stacked against them.
yeah,
Like,
so I thought that was
everywhere.
really good. So definitely up there. So there's also best actor is Vigo Mortensen. Does he deserve best actor?
Yes.
Like
I believe he belong on the list or
on the list
On a list, yes.
Yeah, does he belong?
Because,
We'll talk about
yeah.
who should win it later. We'll just
Okay.
talk about does he belong on the list?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I think so too. He was very, very convincing. And then best supporting actor, is
Ali.
yeah, Ali. I'm apologize. I'm murdering his name.
I believe Ali should be up there also.
Oh, yeah.
He did a fantastic job. He did it. He was excellent. He was really good.
I'm kind of surprised. Like he's wasn't the main act. I mean, I guess he would be supporting because it more revolved around the Italian guy than the doc.
Right, because they showed a little bit of his story, how he could only eat 24 hot dogs for so much for $50.
Yeah, like it was his
You
life.
know?
It was his life, his story,
Right.
his struggle.
Right. It was a very little bit of his backstory, but I'm wondering if there was ever an option to have two actors, not one supporting, one lead actor, but two lead actors, because I think that'd be a good idea for those two to be a good lead actor. Either way, it could have gone either way.
Yeah, both of those were best actors, let alone best
Right.
supporting actor. I mean, we haven't watched all the Oscar nominated movies yet, but he was good. He was damn good, and
Right.
the movie was really, really good. I will not be surprised if it does win it all, but it was good. Good message, good movie, very well done. But yeah, that's all it has is just best picture, best actor, and best supporting actor. Out of the categories that we're focusing on, it's only got the 3.
Wow.
With the best actress, there really wasn't that many women besides his wife.
Yeah.
So, best supporting actress, maybe.
Supporting actress.
I mean, I feel like his wife was more in it than
George Bush.
Than George Bush was in the Cheney movie, and he's up for it. And then on top of that is Linda Cardellini. I always had a big crush on her. I don't know something about her. She was Hawkeye's wife.
Yeah.
The Hawkeye's wife. She was Daphne, I think, in Scooby Doo movies.
Jesus.
Yeah, she's always pretty good. She's a good actress. I enjoy her stuff too. I believe she should be up there for best actress because she was good. And it's like when they hugged at the end, the wife and the doc hug at the end. And,
yeah, thank you for writing the letter.
She goes, thank you for let me borrow your husband. She's like, oh, thank you for the letters. Because I think after that, that's when she already knew like he changed him for the better. So I think she like appreciated that from him, and she knew right away. I mean, if you're married to somebody, have kids with them, and you don't know, like, hey, this is not him writing it.
From one letter to another, one was very poetic and flowers and the wind and trees.
Yeah.
To you remind me of a house.
I mean, for him, that's good. The very first letter was like, he goes, "We are on road. Road is good." It was like listening to a caveman, like, right?
Yes.
That was funny, But yeah, so yeah, that was good. So next week, what 2 movies?
I don't know. Let's go. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you want to pick one and I pick the other?
It don't matter to me. We go Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
You want to wait on it?
Now let's go Bohemian.
Bohemian Rhapsody, and we could do the 2 musicals and A Star Is Born.
A Star Is Born. Okay.
Apples to apples.
Apples. Yeah. So one end of the spectrum to the other to matching genres. Got it.
Yeah. That's good. So next week we'll
Yeah.
talk about that, and so this weekend is the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. I already know who
Tom Brady. Back at it again.
Jesus Christ.
Somebody's calling him Thanos. He's going for his 6th string. He's trying to build the gauntlet. He's the Thanos of the NFL, dude.
Thanos.
Like, seriously. Like,
Well, my prediction, I'm just gonna throw it out there. He's not gonna get it.
oh man, I don't want him to win, but whenever I don't want him to win, he usually wins.
99% of the country doesn't want him to win. 99% of the country right now is Rams.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. Like I'm rooting for the Rams. Like, sure.
So, I think it's gonna be a close game. You think it's a blowout? What do you think, man?
I think it's gonna be a pretty close game. I think it's gonna be a good game to watch. You know,
High scoring, low scoring.
High teens, low 20s. That's where I think it's gonna wind up being, like somewhere between 17 to 24. Those are like both scores are gonna probably be in between that range.
I say it might be a little bit higher. I think it would be like 28-35.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh, I mean, actually, I think that's a little too high because the Patriots defense and the Rams defense are pretty good. So you know what? I'm gonna lower that some. I'm gonna go 24-32.
Okay.
Rams.
Oh wow, okay. Either way, it's gonna be a good game. There's gonna be a bunch of I think Marvel / Disney. They bought 6 commercial spots.
Oh, Jesus.
So, and they're already talking like Aladdin, Avengers, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Lion King. They're talking about like their big movies are gonna probably be commercials. And then I know this is not about the football itself, but Maroon 5, there's a bunch of people. Like that's the big thing is like, oh, what are you gonna watch instead of the halftime show?
We'll be doing our podcast.
Yeah, we'll probably be doing some of our podcasts.
We'll go ahead and practice.
The big thing is the WWE Hall of Fame is during the halftime. Like,
really,
that's smart. They know people are not gonna watch, and they wanna take advantage of it. It's like, hey, instead of supporting the racist bastards, come watch WWE. Watch the steroid bastards.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll see. I really don't care. I never cared for a halftime show. I'm like, I mean, I miss Janet Jackson's titty. So,
not this year. Like Prince was good.
Prince was awesome.
Prince was good. Who was it? Bruno Mars.
Bruno
Mars,
a really
good one.
Yeah, that was really good.
But Maroon 5, I can't see. Is it just Maroon 5 or is there someone else?
I'm not sure. A lot of people backed out, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's just them. Wow. But I get what he said. Like Adam Levine, or whatever the main singer,
right?
He's like, this is like, every little kid, dream if they want to be a musician is to play the Super Bowl, So, but I was like, like I get it, but at the same time, it's like you don't want to be the person to piss everyone else off, kind of thing,
Right.
But, ultimately, I really don't give a shit. I mean, Maroon 5 sucks ass. Halftime shows are not that great.
No.
I mean, very, very rare are they good. Like you said, Prince and Bruno Mars. Before that, I can't remember a good halftime show.
Michael Jackson was pretty decent. Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah,
but then again,
that was a long time ago.
Exactly. I was about to say I'm a little bit older than you are, so
I mean, in recent years, I mean, especially after the Janet Jackson thing, it went downhill.
Right.
So
final predictions on the Super Bowl. What was your score? Let's write these down, shall we?
Let's see.
Well, we got to record it. We can look at the.
Well, we have a poll up on our Facebook page, so you can vote. Who do you think is going to win, the Patriots or the Rams? I think the Rams are barely winning right now. I think there's about 11 or 12 people voted, and it's like Rams are barely ahead.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I want the Rams to win. I don't think they're going to win.
It's gonna be well.
I don't
It
think
might
they're
be
going to win.
close.
It's going to be close. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots win, but I would like for them to lose. You know, so I'm just there for food and football.
For football. That's funny. Never mind the old friends that you're gonna meet up again.
Well, that's part of the food. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a majority of us that haven't seen each other probably since the draft. So it's gonna be pretty good, fun. So yeah, anything you want to say before we head out?
Those of you who have not watched those two movies, we do apologize for the spoiler alerts. However, from the 3 weeks, we will be a lot of spoiler alerts. Once again, the next two movies are we watching is Bohemian Rhapsody and The Star Is Born. So please, if you want to join our conversation or just hit us in the comments, watch those movies, and you'd be more than welcome to join us.
Yeah.
Other than that, the last word of the day is I don't know. Go Bears.
Go Bears. I guess there's this one comedian who like pretends to be a Trump supporter, and like he signs out every of his episodes on YouTube. I'm gonna curse. He goes, fuck the NFL and go Colts. I was like, it's the best. I love that. I was like, oh, it's so good. I'll show it to you. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode. As always, you can always check it out on all social media platform. At Did We Just Become Best Friends podcast or DWJBBF podcast. And one thing that I found out this week from Fredo is you have to put the word podcast. We're not big enough yet, so you have to put Did We Just Become Best Friends podcast. You know, and then you'll see us. One big thing, thank you Armando for helping us out with our logo. It's really awesome.
Great job.
Really appreciate it, dude. Thank you. He put a saying in it. This was it the best stupid thing ever or whatever. I loved it. It was awesome. But yeah, so follow us at Did We Just Become Best Friends podcast or DWJBBF podcast. Hit that subscription button on any platform that you're checking us out on, and give us a call 872-225-2404, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
All right, guys, enjoy the Super Bowl. Have fun. Have your popcorn ready.
Yep. All right.
Don't forget those squares.
Oh yeah, pick the squares. All right, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Later. Peace.
Yep. Did we just become best friends?